Good afternoon and welcome back to another ironic introduction to another video. Today I will be doing a December review and a January forecast. Bear in mind that it's tough to do a full December review when we know we've got some good stuff coming for the holidays. We hope we have some good stuff coming for the holidays. Kabam could always surprise us with a cold shoulder. That said, as always, if you want to skip to the post itself and me talking about that, there will be a link in the description for that. There will be a link for the forum in the description if you'd rather just read it rather than listen to it. And if you want to just listen to my thoughts on it, you can skip to that as well. That said, let me just start by talking about December. December has been interesting, right? We've got no side quest. Instead, we have Halls of Heroes. And I'm not gonna lie, I'd almost rather have like a side quest over Hall of Heroes. Hall of Heroes is nice, it's a good break, but when I saw it, I was like, oh, that's gonna be an additional, and it's not an additional. Instead, it's a 1 energy, essentially a side quest. And I just kind of like, for what we get normally versus what we're getting in Halls of Heroes, I would rather have a side quest. And the greater gifting crystals at the end of Epic could be amazing, and those could be a really great time. Of course, we can't ignore the potential huge holiday gift we're expecting, and the like 15,000 5-star shards that all Cavalier players received. Everybody getting that progression and the holiday calendar, and there's a lot of great stuff going in December. But just on the Hall of Heroes bit, I really would have liked to see a little bit more. Just because if you're not going to give us a side quest, Hall of Heroes, it just felt like when you subtract the value of side quests from Hall of Heroes, it just doesn't feel as good. But hey, overall, I'd say December has been a good month. I've definitely really enjoyed it. Hall of Heroes on its own is absolutely a blast. I've really enjoyed running 4 stars only through the epic difficulty, even though I've run into several frustrations and I'm only halfway through. The actual uncollected difficulty event this month, I feel, is a little bit overtuned. We are definitely seeing Kabam shift towards harder and harder uncollected difficulties, which I'm fine by to an extent, right? Like, I understand the need for scaling difficulty. I just think that, at some point, Kabam, you need to update the rewards. And I am going to say now is the official time when I called for that. For a long period of time, I was like, hey, Kabam is still kind of evaluating Cavalier versus Uncollected. But Kabam Mike, in a recent forum post, has come out and said that a Cavalier difficulty is not on the horizon because all of these like crazy events and variants and static content, those take precedent. And I totally agree. I understand where they're coming from. I think that's a great and valid point. But if you're going to say that we're not getting a Cavalier difficulty while tuning Uncollected and making it harder and harder, putting in Act 6 nodes into Uncollected, then we need to see Uncollected rewards shift up a little bit. That's all. I'm not asking for anything crazy, maybe like a 10 to 20% increase in rewards, and call it a day. That's just my thoughts. Negative criticisms aside, December has been a absolute blast, and part of that is because I've been lucky, and part of that is because the game has so much hype going on with constantly receiving free stuff. And hey, receiving free stuff is a good time so long as it lasts, and I hope it doesn't cause people to burn out. So that said, at this point, I'll stick a timestamp in the description for just a quick run through of the actual update for January. So who comes out on top? Scrolls or squirrels? Find out this January. As we move into 2020, our eyes are still set firmly on the cosmos as we answer the age-old question, who would win in a fight? A scroll or a squirrel? Help answer the question that has plagued philosophers since the dawn of time, and get ready for a month of far too many nut-related puns, squirrel friend. 2 fan favorites joined the contest. Doreen Green's squirrel-like abilities made her an outsider in her teenage years. She escaped the insults of her classmates by hiding in the woods among the squirrels. With the help of her good friend Tippy Toe, Squirrel Girl has taken down some of the most feared supervillains in the universe. With an almost unrivaled win record, she lives up to the title, the unbeatable Squirrel Girl. All was normal for New York high school student Richard Rider until he came into contact with the Nova Corps, a peacekeeping force based on the planet Xandar. After the planet Xandar was destroyed, the last surviving member of Xandar's elite Nova Corps, Raman Day, selected Richard Rider to replace him. Rider is given a uniform and powers of a Nova Centurion, but little instruction on how to use them. Calling himself Nova, Rider becomes a superhero, using his powers for the good of Earth and the universe while serving as its protector. Squirrels versus Skrulls. Skrulls have been known to reside in the battle realm since the combined investigative efforts of Captain Marvel and Nick Fury. Though we have been aware of their presence, it seems as though they have vanished among the general public. Well, mostly vanished. A rogue group of Skrulls are hatching some nefarious schemes. Nova, aka Richard Rider, sees this as warning signs of a bigger problem and is willing to hunt down any and all Skrulls to get some answers. Meanwhile, Squirrel Girl, aka Doreen Green, wants to help the Skrulls find a peaceful outcome as they are also inhabitants of the battle realm. Will there be peace, or is this the beginning of another invasion? A cornucopia. How unbeatable are you? Squirrel Girl is dying to know. See how far you can push in each difficulty of this challenge and keep all the acorns you can carry as you move from battle to battle. Unlike other quests, there are no rewards for completion, but you'll be able to collect acorns along the way. Those rewards are yours to keep, so challenge yourselves to see how many enemies you can defeat and how many acorns you can collect. Then spend your acorns in the squirrel store to purchase rank up materials, crystals, crystal shards, and more. Road to a Million Acorns event. Making it rain with acorns in the Squirrel Store will unlock rewards from this solo event, including a Tier 4 class Catalyst Selector, Legendary Hero Crystal, special titles, and more. Only those who are uncollected or higher will be able to purchase all the items in the Squirrel Store, so make sure to push for further progression while you can. If you can reach the Million Acorn milestone, a 5-star Awakening Gem Crystal awaits you. Alliance Wars Season 15, we will see an update to season rewards and defense tactics. Prepare your alliance for an all-out war this January. This is just a taste of what's to come next month. Stay tuned for more information. So yeah, at this point, I'll put a timestamp because I have some things I want to touch on. So first, I only know about Squirrel Girl because of all the hype over this character, Squirrel Girl and Nova, just in the community recently. When I mentioned it to my friends, one of my friends is a huge fan of Squirrel Girl because he just loves like the absolute meme of it. Because let's face it, she's a little memey. I'm gonna leave it at that, and y'all can you can fight me on that. But she's definitely a meme, but I love it. So I think this is gonna be really exciting. As always, we kind of have to predict. I am on the side that I don't think she's gonna be a mutant. I think she's gonna be skill. Because from what I know about Squirrel Girl, I think like my friend said, like she used like intelligence on the villains or something to beat them. But also like we just have a ton of mutants. So I would be really surprised from like a game balance perspective if we didn't get like another skill champion. I definitely don't think she's gonna be science unless there's some kind of interesting reason for that. But hey, I'm gonna lock in skill. That's what I think some other people in the community have guessed. And if she's not, well, then I would say after that, probably mutant. And then Richard Rider is probably going to be cosmic, I think, just because, you know, we have this other planetary stuff, etc., etc. So I don't think there's any reason to expect him to be something other than cosmic. But if he's not cosmic, I would absolutely love to see this guy be a science champion, right? Like if for some reason the uniform and powers of a Nova Centurion are based on the uniform, it would be really cool to see him be science. I feel like science could always use a little more love as well, but I'm gonna go ahead and bet cosmic. I think that the story this month will be really interesting, so if you're someone who skips the story, take the time to read it. And then my thoughts on the Acornucopia and the Road to a Million Acorns event is really based on like how many acorns we're getting on a run, because I really like for this 5-star Awakening Gem Crystal to be like reasonably obtainable. And not something we just have to like mercilessly grind for. So you never know. I would like to give Kabam the benefit of the doubt and say we'll get it for like a modest amount of effort, but you never know. Sometimes the troll is hard. And then season 15, woohoo! Season rewards are hopefully really, really good because I feel like we've been promised this update for a really long time. So I will believe that update is coming when I actually see it. So that said, that is my review and forecast. I hope that you guys share your opinions and thoughts with me. Give me any kind of information maybe I missed or I don't know, because I like to stay updated, especially since January's not really around the corner, so I feel like we're missing quite a bit of information. But other than that, I'll talk to you all later.